Welcome back to the Personal Foul Podcast. I am your host, Colton Gesser. Alongside me is my co host, Phil. Phil, how the heck are you?
I'm fine. You know, I came up showing wearing black today for a funeral. I thought you would as well, but I expect something like that from your ilk, not showing up for a funeral. How sad you don't represent not only the Mets funeral, but also the Jets funeral. And what the hell? We might as well give it the Nets funeral as well because they suck as well. Jets, just end the season. Mets must end the season. And the Nets now end the season. Oh, anything with an ETS is a disgrace. I feel bad for you, Met fans. Bye bye, Mark Vientos. I don't have to hear his name anymore until April. I am so sick and tired of listening to you Met fans bitch and moan and whine. Oh, blah, 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 blah. You guys failed this year. You had the highest payroll in baseball, the highest payroll, higher than the Dodgers, higher than the Yankees. And I got to hear, oh, we were just along for the ride. This was so exciting. Oh, we had such a great time. No, you failed. You failed miserably. That's too damn bad. Let's go, Yankees. Let's go, Yankees. Derek Jeter. Ah, that's right.
Man, I don't know if I just threw up in my mouth, but that was a disgusting display of sports talk there.
How dare you insult me like that? That was prime, must see, must watch sports talk.
Yeah, I think quite the opposite. But yes, the Mets do end their postseason run. The Yankees beat the Cleveland Guardians in a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, in a Boone screw-up sweep. It should have been 4 in a row, as I predicted. But no, Boone had to go mess up game 4? No, 3. Game 3. Typical Boone. Awful. But it's all right. We got some rest. We're going to get ready for the Dodgers. And I got the broom out for the Dodgers because we're going to sweep one of these teams. We couldn't do it with the Royals. We couldn't do it with the Indians. So now we will do it with the Dodgers. I expect Shohei Ohtani to fold like a lawn chair in a big spot. The first baseman's hurt. Mookie Betts can never do well against the Yankees. I expect a clean sweep, 4 in a row. Plus, their pitching stinks. What, they're going to do bullpen games during the World Series? Come on, that ain't going to happen. Absolutely atrocious by Dave Roberts, not naming a starter. A joke. Let's go, Yankees!
I hope we see that. I hope we see a sweep. I mean, that'd be great for the Yankees. I don't know how it's going to play out. Yankees starting Garrett Cole, game 1 Friday. Excuse me, geez. Game 1 on Friday. The Dodgers are yet to name a starter, so I'm curious how that goes with the
Maybe a bullpen game.
It very well could be a bullpen game. I don't know what the hell the Dodgers are going to do with their staff. It's all beat to crap. Apparently, the Yankees are planning on if the Dodgers pitch Shohei Ohtani, by the way. Which there's 0% chance they pitch Shohei Ohtani.
No chance whatsoever. 0. I cannot see it. What? Maybe a batter, like a tough spot. I don't know. I can't see it. There's no way in hell they're going to risk a $700 million investment. Now, if I was a manager, I would. If I knew he could pitch hitting, I would. But the Dodgers, Dave Roberts, they're worried about 2028, just like Aaron Boone is. God forbid. Baseball is just so bad right now. See, this is the problem with baseball. The owners in the NFL know how to treat running backs. They know they're only there for a few years. The general manager in baseball should treat pitchers the same way. You get them in for a good few years, and then that's it. Stop paying them. Once in a while, you pay a premium guy like a Garrett Cole, someone along that line. But they need to stop paying these pitchers so much money. Let them throw really hard for a couple years, and then go to the stockpile. Get the next guy. That's how I would do it. Save myself a ton of money.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. They went out and got Tyler Glass. Now he's hurt. They pay Ohtani. They knew going in he was not pitching this year. What are your expectations? Again, which will be nice. We'll be able to come back and talk more baseball again next week because the series is just getting started Friday and Saturday, and Monday, I believe, is game 3. So we'll still be able to talk World Series. But what are your expectations going in? I know you say sweep, like ha ha ha. Trust me, every Yankees fan would love to see a sweep, myself included in that. But what are you expecting? Like That
All
rock,
right.
that
Kidding aside,
that
it's going to be.
that lineup is loaded for the Dodgers.
It is. It
Oh,
definitely
look
is.
who it is! The Mark Vientos fan club. Time to
Oh
talk
yeah.
hockey.
I hope your internet
Of
goes
course, you
out.
want to talk hockey. You don't want to talk about Mark Vientos
Yeah,
and
exactly.
those shitty
Typical
Mets.
fraud Met fan wants to talk hockey. Get the hell out of here, John Mayer. You and Chet Franovich can go kiss each other's asses, as far as I'm concerned. Had to hear your mouths all season long. The Sloans, all these other jerk-off Met fans, you can all go to hell. That's right. The cream has risen to the top, and the shit, a.k.a. Met fans, have all floated to the bottom. That's where they belong. Sunk to the bottom is what I should say. Anyway, back to the Yankees, the Dodgers. You got to contain the Max Muncies and the Will Smiths in that lineup. I mean, Betts, Otani, and Freeman, they're going to do whatever the hell they want. They're great players. You know, you don't want to see Chris Taylor getting a cheap double. You don't want to see, Kiki Hernandez hitting another home run like he did off the Mets time and time again. Those are what the Yankees need to control. And I think if they control the bottom five of that lineup, where they didn't do it against the Cleveland, but that's only because Jose Ramirez was absolutely atrocious in that series. Every time he came up in a big spot, he failed. It was amazing. Last out of the game on top of it. But I think if you control the bottom of that lineup, I think the Yankees are going to hit their pitching. We got a shout out from Renee Mayer Gesser. Let's go Yankees. That's right. Let's go Yankees. But I do think control the lineup, the Yankees will win. And I don't like Clark Schmidt as a Game 3 starter. I don't know why the hell Marcus Stroman is not pitching. That is an absolute joke as well. You want experience this time of year. I don't want Clark Schmidt going against the Dodger lineup. I think that's terrible.
Schmidt pitched well, though, to be fair.
Against Cleveland.
Okay, he pitched well. I mean, you're going to throw it? You haven't seen Stroman at all this postseason.
Yeah. So and that worries. I don't understand. The guy has experience. He's pitched well this year. You're Mr. Statman. Go look up what he pitched this year.
Trust me, I'm a big Stroh fan. Trust me, I'm a big Marcus Stroman fan. He's pitched well this year. They took him out of the lineup late, out of the rotation late in the season, and never really saw him again. Put him in the bullpen, which I didn't really understand that, but that's what he did.
Won some big games against Boston and Baltimore. I remember he pitched well in those games. And you're not pitching him, when you want him this time of year. And, of course, the New York media, God forbid, if they question Aaron Boone. I don't understand why he's not pitching, but it is what it is.
What are your thoughts, Nestor Cortez making the World Series roster?
I would like to see him in there just, to get that tough lefty out, against Otani or Freeman or somebody like that. You can't use a one batter anymore, but, that type of inning where, you got the lefty stack, bring him in for an inning. I don't see why not. Leave him, I don't want to see him starting, but because he feasts on the bad teams. But when it comes to a good team, he gets knocked around a lot. I've noticed the past couple of years. But I don't see him, I see him for one inning, that type of thing. Some of these other, like Tim Mazzai, I don't want to see him on the roster. Get this bum the hell out of here. Tim Hill, he's another bum. I don't care if he pitched well in Cleveland. Guy's a bum. Get some established pitchers there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun series. I'm really excited for it. Feels like the first time in a long time I'm actually excited to watch Yankees baseball. This season was different for me. Just knowing Juan Soto's in the lineup, this team actually has a guy that can just hit the ball, and it's not just we'll beat up on the crapping pitching like the Yankees have been over the last 6-7 years, where there's beating the brakes off the bad Orioles, the bad pitching. And when it comes to October, they're facing the loaded staff of the Astros, and they can't hit the ball. Where they're hitting the ball now. So, again, hopefully they continue to hit the ball here in this upcoming World Series. And, again, they're going to have to hit because I think the Dodgers are going to put up just as many runs as the Yankees. It's going to be exciting for the viewers, I can tell you that.
Oh, exactly. And, it's funny. I saw a stat yesterday where in 1981, last time the Dodgers and the Yankees played in the World Series, they had 40 million viewers. And now, baseball will be happy if they get 15 million viewers for this series, which just shows how far down baseball has come in the past, 20, 30 years. And it doesn't help that baseball puts their playoffs on TBS and FS1 where, nobody knows what the hell channel it's on. It should be on a major network. I mean, outside of that Peacock game that the NFL did with Kansas City and Miami, you don't see the NFL putting their games on, crappy little channels like that. They're on the big station games, and that's what baseball should be doing. But that's a story for another day. Right now, we're going to worry about the World Series. As for Soto, yes, he hit the game-winning home run in Game 5, but it was Stanton's home run that was the bigger home run, I thought, in that game and in the series, and he deservedly so should have been the AL MVP, ALCS MVP. I better get that right before I get corrected real quick. Hello, Ian Engel. Ian Engel, man, why don't
you always mess his name up in a shout out? God,
Fire Chief, that's what I call him. Hello, Fire Chief. Yeah, them Steelers are on fire. We'll get to them in a little while. The hell with the Steelers, even though they did me justice by burying the Jets, putting them in their funeral, putting them in their coffin box where they belong.
But yes, it should be a very exciting World Series. I'll be glad to continue to talk about it. And by the way, before we transition here to the start of the opening NBA season, got my Lakers jersey on. Big shout out to Giancarlo Stanton. You mentioned his home run. He was absolutely terrific. Hopefully the Dodgers watched. I mean, hopefully they didn't. I mean, I'd love for them to continue to pitch to Stanton, how hot he is in this postseason. For a guy that I crap on quite a lot, and I'm always here shitting on Stanton, I hold my hand up in defense and say I am very sorry, Giancarlo. What a postseason. I will shut my trap. I don't care how many games you miss in the regular season. You've been more productive and clutch in the postseason than Aaron Judge. So I hold my hand up, and I apologize for all the crap I've said about Giancarlo Stanton. So on that note, we transition to the start of the NBA season. Phil, what are you looking forward to this NBA season? I know your Nets are going to suck nuts. So
they're going to actually be incredibly awful. The only thing I'm looking forward to this NBA season is my fantasy title what a team I drafted last night. Oh my God. You're trying to shit on my picks. You know how great my team is. It's a wonderful team. As for the NBA, I mean, it's going to be Boston versus Denver. I mean, yeah, there was a little fluke there with Minnesota last year, beating Denver in the semifinals in the West. But Minnesota lost Cat, and I don't think they're going to recover from that. I mean, Julius Randle, he's another guy. He never shows up when the bright lights are on him. He'll start getting lippy and get thrown out of a game or, miss an easy layup. That's his MO. I thought, Minnesota was coming up. I thought they would have been going to the finals, but you lose someone like Cat. I think that hurts big time. And I think the Westbrook addition to Denver is very sneaky. I think that helps them a lot. That gives them a little bit of leadership. I think San Antonio they're going to make some noise adding Chris Paul because that guy likes to win. You put him with a raw rookie like Wemby. He's that Spur team is, I think, very, very scary because you don't know what you're going to get out of them. Your top four in the East are going to be Milwaukee, New York, Boston, Philly. And you talk about somebody resting. I mean, Embiid, you're not going to see him probably until December, but the Philly fans won't care as long as he's, playing out there in the playoffs. I do like Orlando. I think they're a little bit sneaky. That Vincaro kid, he's a leader as well. I think they're going to make some noise. In the West, Sacramento, you got Fox. The Lakers, you obviously can't count out with LeBron and Davis, even though I see them missing a lot more games. Dallas, they get Klay Thompson added. That's a very big get for them. That's probably why you were urinating on my Irving pick, but I think that's why I took Irving, because he has someone else to bail him out. And, I think Denver's the cream of the crop out there. I mean, the problem with basketball right now is so many bad teams. I mean, Washington, Toronto, the Nets, obviously. I mean, there's so many trash teams, and it just makes it a hard watch. Atlanta, they're another bad team. I don't know.
I don't think Atlanta should be in the discussion with the Nets, but yeah, we'll save that for another day. Yeah, it should be an interesting season. Again, you mentioned the Karl Anthony Towns trade. We'll see how that works for both teams. DiVincenzo going the other way, Julius Randle going the other way. We'll see how that works out for those guys. See what the Lakers look like. Again, Dallas brings in Klay Thompson in the offseason. See what that does for Dallas. I know they made the finals last season. See if that puts them over the edge. So we'll see what that looks like. But again, enough with the hoops. We'll work our way into the NFL. Again, another good week in the NFL. I did add up all the picks, by the way, for Beat the Genius. So I will get to those a little bit later in our current standings with the three of us, because it's only been Ray Trimble that's kind of kept up with the Joneses here with picks, which is shame on you folks, because I'm going to end up catching Phil, and I'm going to take his beer, and I'm going to have myself a nice 60-pack. So I'm very excited for Bill to be coughing up the dough for that. But we appreciate Phil for his, for his beer that he's going to donate to me. So
Come on, people. Personal Foulcast. Get your picks in. I don't know why this is so hard. Everyone wants to beat the genius all the time. I'm smarter than you. I understand that. But come on, let's go. Get your picks in.
You got to follow us. You got to follow us on our Personal Foul podcast page on Facebook. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. Please find our YouTube.
Hit the damn button. It ain't hard.
It's on the ticker below. If you can't see it, I don't know what to tell you, but it's Personal Foul Pod on YouTube. Subscribe to us and check us out every Tuesday. We're always live at 5 o'clock, so make sure you're checking in. But again, let's take a look around the NFL. We'll start off with the Sunday night dump from the New York Jets as the Steelers and Russell Wilson. And big shout out to Mike Tomlin standing alone, the lone soldier, as he said this week, with the decision of starting Russell Wilson. I had you texting me, you got to change the fields. The Steelers knew what they were doing. Russ hasn't played in almost a year. He hasn't played 4 quarters in probably 360 days. This is around the time, probably a week or two from now, when he got benched in Denver, and that was that. So, again, I think Russ played really well and probably put the dagger in the Jets season with a 37-15 ass whooping on Sunday Night Football with Devontae Adams in the building with back-to-back losses to the Steelers. I know you want to piss on the Jets. Floor is yours, Phil.
Before I do that, I have a comment here from Kenny Warren, who spelled his last name wrong, it looks like. It says he's played the last 3 weeks in the pick'em, so we're going to have to find those picks for him. He probably stinks anyway, so who the hell cares? Bum. Anyway, as for the Jets, talk about a tale of two halves. Wilson got booed off the field at halftime. I couldn't believe it. And of course, I'm texting you. I'm in my glory, of course, even though it was the Jets. But I mean, this game showed how bad Aaron Rodgers is. That pick right before halftime just totally was the whole momentum changer of that game. I mean, what was he? 24 for 35, 276 yards, 2 touchdowns. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and not one at the half. That changed the whole complexion of the game. It woke up Pittsburgh finally, and it was just like, all right, let's go. I think the Jets have a lot of problems. I mean, this Ulbrich guy, he's their head coach now. He's head coaching them, and now nobody's watching the defense. So, and that defense just went to complete hell. This is Pittsburgh we're talking about that just urinated all over the Jets in the second half. I just couldn't believe what I was watching in that game. Well done, Pittsburgh. I'm very proud of you. You did good. I'm so happy for you this week, Colton. Chad Franlich, I know you're a Schittsburg fan as well, but you can go to hell also. But well done. I'm happy for the rest of you Jet fans. You have a worse record than the Miami Dolphins. I want you to contemplate that for a second.
We'll head over to your Miami Dolphins. Your Dolphins, tough loss against the Indianapolis Colts, but help is on the way. Tua inbound to save the season in a bad AFC. Do they sneak in the back door in a playoff appearance?
No. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we had this game won against the Colts. Colts were doing nothing all game long. And then piss poor clock management by McDaniel at the end of the half. Instead of letting the clock go down to 4 seconds and then kicking the field goal, he inexplicably calls timeout with 20-something seconds left. Miami kicks the field goal. They get a decent return. They get a big play. And then all of a sudden, the momentum changes because Indy kicks a field goal at half. And then Miami just beat themselves in the second half. I don't understand these head coaches. You get paid to do a job, and you can't do time management. when an idiot like me is sitting his fat ass on his chair screaming at the TV, let the clock go down to the half. I don't understand what the hell McDaniel is doing. And this isn't the first time with him. So, no, I don't see Tua. I don't see – and Hill and Waddle. I mean, what are you doing there? One catch each in that game? Those are your two best players. I don't want to see Jonnu Smith anymore. Yeah, I know he had a great game, but I don't want to see him anymore. I want to see the stars back. I want to see A-Chain running the ball. I want to see Tua throwing the ball, and he would have wear that dopey helmet. I don't care what he said. Oh, I'm not going to wear it, blah, blah, blah. A-Chain wore it. I don't see what the problem is with him wearing it. Miami, no, they're not making the playoffs. They're going to win a few games just to piss me off enough not to get a really good draft pick. That's what Miami's going to do to me this year.
Wow, their schedule is very favorable to try to.
That doesn't mean a damn thing.
AFC
I know they still play the Jets twice, but they're going to screw that up somehow.
They can get to off and running this week. They play the Cardinals, then Buffalo. The Rams look to be selling house. The Raiders, who stink. The Patriots aren't really that good. Green Bay, tough game, sure.
Yeah.
The Jets, Texans, Niners, which I have no idea what the 49ers are anymore. The Browns, who are dumping, and the Jets again. They could easily backdoor themselves into the playoffs.
They could win 6 of those games, but that'll make them 8 and 9.
It might surprise you. But enough about the Dolphins.
After what I saw on Sunday, no, because that was atrocious coaching. That's a game you should have won. Without a doubt, you should have won that game. And I'm so tired of looking at Hundley. We're on a 4th-string quarterback. I mean, I don't know how the hell why they can't keep these quarterbacks.
Better record than the Jets.
I should know why, because they've had a terrible offensive line for years.
Better record than the Jets. How about that? Hey, but we'll burn through some games here. Awful dumpster fire game on Thursday Night Football. Broncos pissing on the Saints with Spencer Rattler. Buffalo taking care of the awful Tennessee Titans, who are going to be probably sellers at the deadline, trading away guys like DeAndre Hopkins. Who?
Yeah, who? Hopkins? Who the hell wants Hopkins? He's done.
Oh, I will take DeAndre Hopkins in a heartbeat, but thank you. What else? Seattle takes care of Atlanta in a game I did not see coming, by the way. 34-14. I did not see that.
He played well. By the way, Mr. Michael Penix played, which I didn't understand why he only threw one pass in the last 2 drives. They handed the ball off. They were down. Let's see what this kid can do. That's more atrocious coaching. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that is in Atlanta. I thought Atlanta was going to be a lot better. And it was like, okay, cool. Let's get Kirk Cousins off and running. And then, they get destroyed by the Seattle Seahawks, who I don't think are very good.
No, they're not. Although they're in first place, aren't they?
Yeah, the NFC South sucks.
Bad, yeah. What's this? Ooh.
So that's what happens. That division stinks. Yeah, they're currently tied 4-3 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Speaking of the Buccaneers, saw them last night in the double Monday night game against the Ravens. What in the hell was Todd Bowles doing? You lose Mike Evans already, and the game's over, and you keep Godwin on the field, and that horrific injury to Chris Godwin. Prayers up to him. Hopefully he gets better as he turns into a free agent at the end of the season. What the hell were the Buccaneers thinking? What was Todd Bowles thinking? Leaving Chris Godwin on the field in the game that's over?
The hell with Godwin. Why was Baker Mayfield still in that game? He's your franchise right now. Why was he still in there? Where are they down? 17? With a couple minutes left to play, and they're still I mean, the mentality of these coaches, it's like we got to win at all costs. They don't think about next week or, even next year sometimes. I don't understand why the hell those starters were still playing at the end of the game. That made absolutely zero sense to me. And shame on Bowles. He should be fired for that.
Yeah, don't understand that one. The other dumpster fire of a game Monday night, my wrong pick. I went 2 for 1 this week on picks, but my pick I got wrong, which kept me out of a clean sweep, would be the Chargers losing to the freaking Cardinals. Can't figure that one out. I don't know what the Chargers are. I know Herbert was throwing to nobody. I know Johnson was out. Quentin Johnson was out. They had a few other receivers not play in this game. I don't know what the hell the Chargers are. I can't figure them out, but they lose 17-50 dumpster fire. Commanders take a leak on the Panthers 40-7. What in the hell is Bryce Young going to play? Because Andy Dalton, it's over. It's fun. It's time to go back to Bryce now and see what
They
you
already
got there.
said Bryce is sitting again next week. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I guess they're playing for a number 1 pick.
Oh, my God. You could still get the number 1 pick with Bryce Young. See what he is.
Exactly. Well, Thiel's coming back this week, so that may help.
Try to see what he looks like so you can possibly trade him or something at the end of the season since you
Yeah.
give up so much to get him.
Well,
Oh,
they should
God.
trade Dalton is what they should do and try to get, like a mid-round pick.
What a disaster in Carolina. So they get dismantled 40-7. Jaden Daniels gets banged up in that game, but he came out later on in street clothes, was waving to the crowd. So I'm assuming just because the game was an ass kicking, he should be all right. So we'll pay attention to that going in this weekend.
How about Mariota? 18 for 23, 205, 2 touchdowns.
Again, I don't look into it. It's the Panthers. Let's not forget who he plays.
It's still impressive for Mariota.
No,
I don't think he's ever done that.
It's the Panthers, so I don't find it interesting at all. The dumpster fire game as well. Rams taking care of the Raiders, even though it still seems like the Rams have announced today from Diane Rossini that Cooper Kupp is now going to be available in trades. So there's another interesting name on the wide receiver market. So see where he ends up. I know Kansas City would love to have him. I don't know if they can afford him. Sounds like the Rams would eat some of his salary to get a deal done. So we'll see how that works. But the Rams beat the awful Raiders 20-15. We'll start working into some games. We'll start talking a little bit longer on them. The Green Bay Packers taking care of the Houston Texans. How about that? I did not have that one on my bingo card.
I kind of did because Green Bay was at home. And what's his name? He stinks on the road. What's his name? Stroud.
He's easily his worst game as a pro.
What?
Easily his worst game as a pro, CJ Stroud.
Oh, yeah. What was he? 10 for 21, 86 yards. Mixon had a hell of a day. 115 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. I got thrown out of the stands by the Packer fans. That was fun to watch. Daubs, he had a nice game, 8 for 94. Jacobs, 76 yards rushing. Love had a very good game, 24 for 33, 220, 3 TDs, 2 interceptions again. How about the field goal kicker, McManus, coming back after that whole Jackson debacle, coming back winning the game-winning field goal there for them.
Again, it was a good win for the Green Bay Packers. You can win this. You can win in this league with Jordan Love, man. That's all I know. I think he's a really good player. I think Jordan Love's a really good player.
You can win regular season games, not playoff games.
Didn't Green Bay win a playoff game last year? Or am I confusing?
Who'd they beat?
I'm trying to remember. I thought Green Bay made the playoffs and won a game last year.
Well, who'd they beat?
I couldn't tell you. That's I'm like asking for assistance.
Nobody cares.
All right, so you can win a playoff game with Jordan. Anyway, since you're shitting on Jordan Love, we have my Aunt Lynn down there. Huge Carlos Rodon fan she is.
That's right.
Huge.
Let's go Yankees.
As we continue on with the NFL. Big win for the Detroit Lions. You picked against them this week in the picks. You picked the Vikings and had a lot of questions about what the Lions would look like without Aiden Hutchinson. And they take care of business, 31-29. What are your thoughts on the Minnesota Vikings with their first loss on the season?
I loved Minnesota in this game, and they were up early. It just shows the moxie of Detroit. I was really, really impressed with them. Montgomery got hurt. He was out for a little bit. He's fine now. He's going to be playing this week. Gibbs had a monster game. I cannot believe. I mean, he got 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a typical Brian Flores defense for you. When the going needs to get tough, the tough folds like a lawn chair. But no, I was really impressed with Detroit. I mean, Goff, here's a little stat for you. 22 for 25, 280, 2 touchdowns. 3rd straight start with 140 quarterback rating. The others who have done that in NFL history, Roger Staubach, Kurt Warner, and Aaron Rodgers. That is an impressive stat. But he is a former number 1 pick.
He is indeed a former number 1 pick. And again, nice win for the Lions, taking control of the NFC North with a nice win there in Minnesota. We'll work our way again. Game stunk, but I got to touch on the injury. I know people are going to love the injury. Don't like seeing guys hurt, And that'd be the Bengals beating up on the Browns 21-14. Deshaun Watson goes down, tears his Achilles. Season is done for him. I don't know if we're ever going to see Deshaun Watson play quarterback in the NFL ever again.
Oh, you're gonna, because he still has about 200 million coming to him. You're damn right you're gonna see him again. He'll take all the next year off and heal that Achilles. He's not gonna be like Aaron Rodgers. He's not gonna rush it. He's gonna take his time, and then when he's ready, when he's fully healthy, he'll come back, and he will come back. That contract is ironclad guaranteed. He ain't retiring, and Cleveland ain't gonna cut him because this is just way too much money. Now, that being said, I mean, who's going to quarterback the Browns now?
The Crab Man, famous Jameis.
The interception machine. Oh, man. You talk about a team that's just jinxed. My God, they're right there with the Jets. They're totally.
They had the quarterback, guy that won them a playoff game for the first time in like forever in Baker Mayfield, and they let him leave. They saw the shiny, weird toy that was down there in Houston. And, God, he said no first time around to them. Yeah. And they said, all right, hold on, we'll guarantee everything. Now you have to take us, right? Now you have to take us. And they took him all right. And, God, what a disaster.
By the way, did you see Cleveland's moving to Brooklyn Park? They're going to build a stadium over there?
Oh,
they're leaving Cleveland?
I did not see that.
Yes. I know it's a rumor. But imagine what the NFL did to make sure that Cleveland came back, and now Halston's going to move him, 30 miles down the road for his own super park or whatever the hell he wants to do there. I mean, that's a joke. I
don't get what all these teams are doing with building these new stadiums. Like Jacksonville apparently is trying to build a new stadium. Like you already have no fans there. The hell are you doing?
No, moving to London.
They rushed to build that stadium in LA, and it's always taken over by the opposing fans. Yep. Like, what are we doing?
Vegas. As we saw with the Steeler home game last week.
That's right. It's a disgrace. Stop building these damn new stadiums. Holy cow. We don't need to see new stadiums. Stop it. Titans building a new one. Like, all these teams. Chicago. Like, just, God, stop building all these new stadiums. Everything doesn't need to be new.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, God. In the last game, I believe, on the slate here that we haven't talked about. Yeah, I believe so. It would be the Kansas City Chiefs taking care of the broken 49ers. They lose Debo early in the game. He's, I believe, in the hospital currently with pneumonia. They lose Brandon Ayuk with a torn ACL and MCL with an awful hit to his knees. I don't know what the hell these idiots are going to do at receiver. I don't understand what they're doing. Brock Purdy, awful interception at the goal line. Like, where the hell is he throwing that to? It was like a clear pass to the Chiefs defender. I don't know what the Niners are. I heard it this morning on ESPN while I was working. Like, it's the window closing for the Niners in their Super Bowl window. I think it is. Like, this year wasn't it. I don't know what. Like, sure, they'll still have an opportunity. Their roster is way too talented. But, like, gosh, if McCaffrey doesn't come back and save them, I don't know what they are going forward. I truly have no idea what the Niners are. And you're finding out what Brock Purdy looks like without all these weapons around him. And again, I know people say he's still a good quarterback. I'm not here to crap on him. Like, he still is a decent quarterback. But to have him in the place that people put him in, no, it's a system he's in and the weapons he's throwing to. He's throwing to two. You can have conversations about number one receivers and Ayuk and Debo. And George Kittle's a top 5 tight end. He's got the best running back in football in McCaffrey. Like, they're loaded and a great offensive-minded guy in Shanahan. It helps who's his coach. And this is why he was Mr. Irrelevant. I'm not here to poop on Brock Purdy, but, like, this is why he was taken where he was, folks. Like, that interception he threw at the goal line this weekend was probably the worst pick I think I've seen this season. Like, stared him down. It was like, here, throw, picked. I was like, what are you doing? Take the points. Stupid.
It was a bad game by Purdy, but, I mean, he's still a top 10 quarterback. And I'd still rather have him over Jordan Love.
Wild. We'll find out. We'll find out if he's a top 10 guy. We'll find out. We'll truly see if he's a top 10 guy. They play what's called Dallas Sunday night. Oh, that's a great one. Everyone wants to see that game. So we'll see how that looks.
You know, it's funny. If there's a team that could use Cooper Cup, I mean, oh my God, it's a shame they're in the same division. But imagine if San Fran landed Cup somehow. Holy hell, that would be what a machine they would be. Cup, McCaffrey, Debo, Kittle. That would be fun to watch. But it'll never happen. They're in the same division.
I think it's that time.
Hold on. Before did we mention the Eagles and the Giants?
Oh, we did not.
We talk about Saquon's return. We have to appease our Eagle fan friends out here. We got a lot of them out here.
I did not mention that. You were correct. It was one of those that blew over because the score was a lot too little.
Yeah, by the way, a terrible game.
Thank you.
But we got to have Barkley's revenge.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Barkley torching the Giants? Again, I feel bad for the Giants because they made the right decision moving on from Saquon. But God, he reminded them. Oh God.
Saquon is a top 5 running back, but he needs an offensive line in front of him, and the Giants don't have that. So I don't blame the Giants for not re-signing him, because what are they going to do? He would be doing what Singletary and Tyrone Taylor would be doing for the Giants right now, which is absolutely nothing. So I don't blame the Giants for not re-signing him. They should have traded him and tried to got something for him is what they should have done. But, that's just a perfect fit for Saquon over there. And, now you got to worry about the tush pushes again because Hurts got 2 of them. I mean, the Giants are just a terrible team. It's a shame. I feel bad for them. Not that bad. But, it's not like dead hatred.
What are you talking about? You feel bad.
Well, no, they've just been bad for a long time. And they've actually tried, outside of the whole Daniel Jones debacle, signing him. They're just a franchise in disarray. And, you got Drew Lock at quarterback. I mean, what the hell? It's like, come on, leave Daniel Jones in there. Try to get some rapport going with neighbors and something like that. It's a bad scene in East Rutherford right now between the Jets and the Giants. You talk about a disaster. That whole stadium. I mean, it's fitting that stadium looks like a garbage can because there's nothing but trash between both those teams in there. They deserve that.
They do.
And now it's time.
They both do indeed stink. But now it is indeed time for Beat the Genius. And I'll give you the lowdown here. So we have our standings. I added them all up. I sat down while I was watching some Champions League football. I was like, all right, what's going on here? What's everyone's picks? So we have Ray, that's 7-8. He missed a week. Phil is even at 9-9. And I am right behind you, Phil. Knock, knock, knocking on your door. I am 8-10. So
this clown Kenny says he went 3-0, 2-1, and 1-2.
I'm gonna have to check on that.
I have to verify that.
I ain't gonna gift away.
Verify the picks. What the hell are my picks?
So we are now on our way to Beat the Genius. Phil, with you being in the lead, the floor is yours on your picks.
What the hell did I do with
him? He's botching it.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. I know I wrote them down somewhere. They must have been a different piece of paper. So I'm going to have to pick up the picks real quick. Why don't you go first while I'm looking at the lines real quick here? Because I can see what.
Oh, sure. Since you might as well give me the lead going into next week, that's fine by me.
Well done.
I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings. I think they're going to bounce back Thursday Night Football. -3. Give me the Minnesota Vikings. I think, that's a big spread. I am not touching that. I'm going to,
-3?
No. I'm taking no. I love that spread. I'm definitely gambling Thursday night, so I'm very excited now because that spread's tasty. No, I was looking at the Jets line. I think the Jets beat the Patriots, but 7 points is a lot of points. I know the Patriots stink, but geez, that's a lot of points. I'm not touching that. You know what I am going to touch? I'm going to touch the Green Bay Packers -4.5 at Jacksonville. That team sucks. God, I hate Jacksonville so much. Give me the Green Bay Packers -4.5. I can't figure out that team for the life of me. I'm going to also take the Miami Dolphins. Tua back in the fold. Give me the Fins -3 in the return of Tua this week. Phil,
Tua, baby! All right, I did a quick glance here. The first pick I am going to take is Wow, this is a massive, massive spread. But you know what? I'm going to take them anyway. I'm going to take the Ravens minus 9.5 at Cleveland. Ooh. Boy, off a Monday night game. Oh, geez. I must be nuts if I think I'm going to do that. I really like Baltimore, but man, 10 points. You know what? Scratch that. Scratch that. I'm not going to take them. Who I will take is I'm going to take the Seahawks at home. What is it? -3 against the Bills. I smell an upset there. I don't know why. I think they got a low
By the
momentum.
way, no, Seattle's +3.
That's what I meant. +3. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got Seattle +3. I'm going to take the Bears -1.5 at Washington. Is that what you have?
No, I have a different number. Let me see where it is.
Who you got?
They're -2.5. Chicago.
Bears -2.5. Wow. That went up a point. I have a feeling that Daniels ain't going to play. And if he doesn't play, they're going to get crushed. So I'm going to roll the dice. You know what? I'm still going to take the Bears.
I love when you contradict yourself. God, you sound so stupid. You just hyped up Marcus Mariota's performance before. Now, they're going to get blown.
Didn't you just say it was against Carolina?
Yeah, again,
it's the Bears.
I said I'm not contradicting myself. You are.
I said he played well this week. That doesn't mean he's going to play well next week.
Oh, stop.
And none of this will matter if Daniels plays. Then I'm screwed.
No one cares about Mariota, yet you want to go mention him. All right, Phil, what's your last pick?
And my last pick is I'm going to take the Falcons. What's this, +3 over Tampa?
No, there's no way they're +3.
That's what I have.
No, they're -2.5.
Who is?
Atlanta.
Oh, wow, that line moved. Holy hell. Because I have it here at -3. So it's Atlanta -2.5?
Yeah.
I'm still going to take them. Wow, 5.5 point swing. That's what the genius does.
There's no way you sounds like you just got it wrong. I think you definitely.
Oh, that's what it says right here. Oh, you can't see with the glare. It says it right here. Bucks -3, Falcons. But that's why I went to you. I want to confirm, make sure there's no nonsense, no silliness. I don't want to come on next week. Oh, yeah, I should have won. No, we confirm this right now like men, because that's what men do. Well, you're a man. I'm a genius.
Oh, boy.
You got my picks written down?
Well, that's beat the genius. I do have them down. I have the Dolphins -3, Green Bay -4.5, Minnesota -3. Phil's got Seattle +3, Chicago -2.5, and Atlanta -2.5. That is beat the genius. Ray 7-8, Phil's 9-9, and I'll be taking the lead back from 8-10.
Kenny's saying 6-3, but no, we have to confirm you first.
I'm confirming you, Kenny.
We're going
to also have to try to weigh that up because I mean you're a few games behind, so you can't give you the beard, Kenny. Can't give the team.
I'll play winning percentage. I'm that kind of guy.
Play winning percentage. I might as well come in on a fake name and come in on the last week and go 3-0 and go down.
No, there's got to be a minimum games. You got to play. At least,
there's rules now.
You got to play at least some of the season.
He's
Not just 1 week.
Now. Go figure.
And I'm going to win anyway because I'm the genius. That's right.
Again, another good show in the books here. I'm Colton. That's Phil. We'll be back again next Tuesday. So, again, Let's Go Yanks is right. Make sure you follow us on the tickers below. Follow us and subscribe on our YouTube, Personal Foul Pod, and follow us on Facebook, Personal Foul Podcast. I'm Colton. That's Phil. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And, again, we'll be back next week. Let's go Yankees.
Bye-bye, Mets! Screw you, Mark Vientos! Screw you, Met fans! And screw